While Emirates moves millions of connecting passengers through Dubai every year, and Qatar Airways expands to every corner of the globe to do the same, one airline just did something radical. It cut its fleet by 27% from its 2019 peak, slashed unprofitable routes, and improved operating profits by 51% in a single year. Oman Air isn't trying to be the next Emirates, it's building something fundamentally different, and it might be the smartest move any Gulf carrier has made in 2 decades. Because while its neighbors chase scale, Oman Air discovered something the rest of the industry is only starting to realize. The model that built Gulf aviation dominance does not work for everyone. So, here's what's happening. Dubai, Doha, and Abu Dhabi sit at the crossroads of 3 continents. Emirates saw this first in the 1980s. The airlines built a mega hub, bought hundreds of widebodies, connected every major city on the earth through one central airport. London to Singapore, through Dubai. Sydney to Paris, same connecting airport. The destination didn't matter as long as you passed through its Dubai hub. Qatar Airways copied it in Doha, Etihad in Abu Dhabi. The model was identical, connecting traffic was the product. By 2024, Dubai International handled 92.3 million passengers, making it the world's busiest international airport for a decade straight. Emirates became the largest international carrier on the planet. The Airbus A380 and Boeing 777 became symbols of the carrier's dominance. But something's changing. 3 forces could break the old playbook. First, overcapacity. Post-COVID, everyone's flying wide bodies again. Too many seats chasing too few passengers. Yields are falling. There are only so many people willing to connect when they could fly direct. Second, technology caught up. The Airbus A321XLR changes everything. It flies 4,700 nautical miles non-stop. Suddenly, you don't need a 777 to cross the Atlantic or reach deep into Asia. You can do it with a narrowbody that costs half as much to operate and doesn't need 400 seats filled to turn a profit. Third, passengers' preferences shifted. Premium leisure travelers want direct flights. They don't want 6 hours in a terminal between connections. The very aircraft that made Emirates' model work, the 777 and A380, are being replaced elsewhere by smaller, leaner jets that don't need hub economics to survive. The era of hub giantism is being challenged by efficiency and flexibility, and one carrier saw this coming before anyone else. Oman Air didn't invent this strategy, they learned it from watching Etihad implode. Remember Etihad's expansion binge in the 2010s? They tried building a global alliance to compete with Emirates and Qatar, bought stakes in Air Berlin, Alitalia, Jet Airways, Air Seychelles, and Virgin Australia. The strategy was to feed traffic into Abu Dhabi through equity partnerships. It was a disaster. Air Berlin collapsed. Jet Airways went under. Alitalia entered administration and rebirthed as ITA Airways. While everyone was enjoying massive profits even before the pandemic, Etihad Airways had failed to be profitable between 2017 and 2021. They grounded its entire A380 fleet, cut routes, slashed staff, spent years bleeding money. The turnaround only came when they abandoned the mega hub dream entirely. In 2024, they posted their highest ever profit of $476 million, but only after refocusing as a mid-sized carrier. Then, in 2025, Etihad took its delivery of its first A321LR. It has ordered 30 of these aircraft. Etihad's A321LR seats just 160 passengers, not 300 or 400. It's designed for point-to-point growth. Etihad's using it to unlock secondary cities. Phuket, Krabi, Phnom Penh, Copenhagen, Milan, Algiers. Markets that are too thin for a 787, but viable with a smaller, more efficient jet. Exactly the opposite of its old strategy. Instead of funneling everyone through Abu Dhabi on giant planes, it's flying direct to where people actually want to go. Oman Air saw all of this happen, and they made a decision. Stop chasing Emirates. Stop trying to be a super connector. Focus on Oman as a destination, not a stopover. Here's the data that proves it. In 2024, point-to-point traffic, passengers flying to or from Oman, not just connecting through, grew to 40% of Oman Air's total. That's up by 49% compared to 2019. They are deliberately moving away from transit traffic, betting on people who actually want to visit Muscat. And it's working. Despite shrinking its fleet to just 32 aircraft, Oman Air improved its operating result by 40% year after year. Load factors hit 75%. On-time performance reached 92%, ranking among the top 2 airlines in the Middle East and Africa. But here's the most telling detail. Most of the airline's bookings now come through its app and website. This isn't about global distribution systems or travel agents, it's about owning the customer relationship. High margins, direct data, lower middleman costs. While Emirates spends billions feeding global hubs, Oman Air is monetizing direct relationships with passengers who want to see Oman, not just pass through it. So, what does this actually look like operationally? Fleet modernization first. Boeing 787-9s for wide-body routes, 737 MAX 8 for narrow-bodies. The 737 MAX 8s are mid-size aircraft ideal for direct routes, not hub feeders. They don't need to fill 300 seats. Oman Air needs 162 to 189 passengers willing to fly direct with these single-aisle jets. This gives the airline flexibility. If a route to Europe or India softens, it deploys a smaller aircraft without bleeding money. If demand spikes seasonally, it adds frequency instead of upsizing to wide-bodies they can't fill year-round. Second, point-to-point advantage. Oman Air reduced its fleet by 27% from 2019 levels, but it's not shrinking forever, it is restructuring. The plan is shrink, fix the foundations, then grow again, according to CEO Con Corfietis, who spoke to Aviation Week. It's focusing on high-demand markets, India, Thailand, Europe, where origin-destination traffic is strong. It avoids hub congestion and slot costs. Muscat isn't battling for landing slots like Dubai or Doha. It can scale more affordably. Third, Oman's unique positioning. Muscat isn't glass and steel like Dubai. It's mountains, beaches, wadis, forts, and culture. The Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque, the Mutra Souk, Wadi Shab, Bima Sinkhole. It's an experimental destination for premium leisure travelers, not a transit point for business road warriors. Oman's government is investing heavily in tourism as part of its Vision 2040. It aims for around 12 million visitors annually by 2040. Oman Air is the primary enabler. They're not just an airline, they're a tourism vehicle. This is a boutique, experience-driven, efficient model, the opposite of Emirates' scale game. But the real differentiator isn't the planes, it's what's happening behind the scenes. Oman Air rebuilt its entire digital infrastructure. Its mobile app and website now handle nearly all bookings in its home market. AI-driven pricing, advanced data analytics, personalized offers. It's digital first, like a fintech startup, not a legacy carrier. Compare that to Emirates, which still relies heavily on global distribution systems, traditional travel agent networks, GDS fees eat into margins. Oman Air bypassed that entirely. It owns the customer data, it can personalize offers, it can upsell directly, it can experiment with pricing in real time. This aligns with the broader airline retailing trend. NDC, New Distribution Capability, is reshaping how airlines sell tickets. Oman Air is ahead of most Gulf carriers on this front. Oman Air isn't trying to outspend Emirates, it is outsmarting them digitally. Lower costs, higher margins, better customer insights. And it's not the only one paying attention. If Oman Air succeeds, others could follow. Etihad pivoted to the same model post-restructuring. Their 787s and A350s now focus on Abu Dhabi as a destination, not as just a hub. It has returned to profitability by embracing efficiency over scale. Then there's Saudi Arabia. Saudia is modernizing its fleet, but the bigger story is Ryder Air, Saudi's new full-service carrier that has already launched its trial flights to London Heathrow. Ryder Air ordered up to 60 A321neo, 50 A350-1000, and 72 787-9s. Ryder Air aims for 100 destinations by 2030 and wants to contribute $20 billion to Saudi's non-oil GDP. That's about driving visitors to Saudi Arabia, not funneling passengers between continents. Even Gulf Air in Bahrain is leaning into regional connectivity instead of long-haul dominance. The Gulf aviation landscape is fragmenting. The mega-hub model still works for Emirates and Qatar Airways, but there's now a viable alternative: boutique carriers focusing on destination traffic, digital retailing, and operational efficiency. If Oman Air succeeds, it'll mark the first time a Gulf airline breaks the cycle of hub gigantism. That would rewrite the rulebook for Middle Eastern aviation, but there are challenges. Oman Air has a small fleet, just 32 aircraft today. Even with growth plans, it'll never match Emirates' scale. Limited brand awareness outside the region is another challenge. Travelers in Europe or Asia still default to Emirates or Qatar when booking Middle East flights. Regional competition is fierce. Emirates and Qatar have deep pockets and can undercut Oman Air on price if they want to. Oman's population, about 5 million, caps domestic market potential, and Muscat's geography limits how many global origin destination routes can sustain year-round service. But here's the key insight: Oman Air doesn't need to win globally. It just needs to be profitable. It does not need 100 million passengers. It needs 5 to 10 million high-yield passengers who want to visit Oman or connect efficiently through Muscat on their own terms. That's the trade-off. Less scale, more focus, lower risk, higher margins. It's a fundamentally different business model. And in a world where ultra-long-range narrowbodies are democratizing long-haul flying, where passengers want direct service, and where digital retailing is king, Oman Air's model might not just be viable, it might be the future. Hey, before you go, the YouTube algorithm thinks you're going to like this video next, so why not check it out?